Welcome back, Barbell Therapy fans, to check-in edition. This check-in is going to be so powerful because this client is currently in the reckoning phase. She is super early on and she just completed her ideal vision homework and is truly seeing one avenue that is holding her back and she can't quite figure out what the holdup is. So on today's check-in, we are going to not only work through the mindset of that, but actual logistics that might be able to help reframe to create a new ability to be able to not let that hold her back. Then we're going to go through her ideal vision homework and talk about how important it is to uncover the root cause of why and what she's feeling so that we can get her back on track more consistently. Let's get into it.
Honestly, really powerful check-in that I'm super excited to get into. So going through everything, I do feel like there is a lot of positive. Okay, the positives that I want to focus on is self-awareness. I feel like you have developed already a sense of self-awareness that you're like, hey, I didn't do this, but I did make some healthier choices here and there. I thought I had self-care under control, but it's not seeming to help manage my stress, right? So all of those things are creating a lot of self-awareness, which is great. And then same thing with being able to get that body weight workout in. I'm super proud of you there. That's like the big thing that I wanted to touch on that. Now, when it comes to eating out and dinner and things like that, again, it's really just now understanding, okay, well, if I'm going out to eat for dinner on Friday, that means I probably need to have a little bit more carbs and fats allotted, if you will, for dinner. And I need to make sure my protein and fiber is really taken care of at the beginning of the day. If you go back and watch the group call that is available on your client hub, there's a couple different options that you can take when it comes to meals out that you can apply in this situation. So watch that and then let me know what questions you have or like what plan you're going to take, and we can kind of strategize on that together. So you did drink a ton of water. Love that for you. But your plan of not doing shots went out the window. I want you to tell me why. Like, what happened here that was like, I just like couldn't stick to this plan. Now, the other thing is you had said an overloaded schedule and finances are the things that are kind of like keeping you up at night. So if we're feeling like the willpower of like for health is just not what is going to help us to be able to control that one aspect, which is drinking, then what I want you to do instead is I want you to set a budget for yourself for the night. Look at how much, drinks cost, identify how many you're going to have, and then set yourself a financial budget for the night. And instead of looking at as like, oh, I'm restricting myself because alcohol is bad for me, which is just not something that has necessarily caused us to stop drinking before, then we have to find some other ways that your mind can wrap itself around that, right? A lot of people use alcohol as an avoidance mechanism, right? They're avoiding many things, not even just one thing. They're avoiding, typically when you start to drink and you feel like this uncontrollable sense of it, it's because you are actively trying to avoid or cope with something going on, right? So for you, in this particular instance, it could be that you are trying to you're using alcohol to decompress and not think about your overloaded schedule or your finances. But in retrospect, it is now then harming both of those things on the other end of it, right? So there's that. And then we just really have to like do a little bit more journaling and deep diving into like why this one aspect of your life is causing so much turmoil, because again, it is probably affecting like both ends. Thinking about some strategies on self-care. So we will definitely be working on that together. And part of some of this is identifying the why or like the what in our mind is kind of troubling us so that we understand what self-care actually is important for you, right? So for some people, it's that they don't do anything for themselves. So like literally self-care is I need to go find time to let my creativity out, like paint, knit, things like that. For some people, it's I literally don't know how to connect with my own emotions and I find myself feeling like, so journaling or having something along those lines, right? So the reason the blueprint works the way that it does, the reckoning phase is like this identity unlocking so that we can create this like roadmap of what things are going to look like in the future. So again, this ideal vision now gives us that sense of understanding, like I need to figure out what is going on for me. So right now, you're looking at it and you're like, like you're worrying about judgment and your brain is loud, right? You don't want to hurt people at a high rate and you don't want to self-sabotage. You want to feel less guilty, you want to feel less defensive, and you want your kids comfortable coming to you for advice. Like these are very powerful things, and we have to understand the why, right? Like what makes you not super consistent with school? Well, what do you mean by that? What are you feeling judged about or nervous about feeling judged about? Why is your brain so loud? Like what are the actual underlying things? And like, you're saying you want this transformation because you don't want to hurt people at a high level, or you don't want to self-sabotage. Like, do you feel like you're doing this right now? And if so, why? Like, what are those things there? And then same thing about you're wanting to feel less guilty and less defensive. What, like, do you feel those things right now? And what are you feeling guilty about? What are you feeling defensive about? And how do we kind of unlock those things? So that way we can create this like opening for the future. So that is what I want us to kind of really uncover there together. I'm not a licensed mental health therapist or anything, but I'm giving you the resources to kind of tap into your mind, and then should we go down a path that like maybe that's something that we need to look into, we can do that, but we can kind of create some self-awareness and utilize some lived experiences or habit changes that can help really identify and address these root cause issues that are then showing up in different aspects of our life, like an unhealthy lifestyle, right? Because you said it right here that you feel like your body is reflecting what you are valuing in life right now. That is incredibly powerful. So I just want to make sure that we are identifying these things so then we can problem solve for them in the future. We are definitely moving forward in the right direction. I'm super, super proud of you, and I'll talk to you soon.